Good morning, class. Today we're going to read a new book. Can everyone see the cover all right? Yes? Okay. So, our title of our book is a little bit tricky. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down into syllables. Let's break it down using our clapping hands. St, stel, lu, na. Sounds like we have 4 syllables. So now let's do it one more time. Stella Luna. And let's say it all together. Let's blend all of our syllables together. Stella Luna. So our book is called Stella Luna. Can anyone guess what Stella Luna might be according to the cover? Right, Charlie. It's about a bat, and her name is Stella Luna. For this book, we have an author. Can anyone tell me who the author is or what an author means? Correct, Julie. An author is the person who wrote our story. Today, our author is Janelle Cannon. So, let's start our story, but before we start, I want to clarify that Stella Luna is one big word, and it's very hard to say. We have other big words in the book that might be just as hard. Today we're going to use our syllables with clapping and segmenting on our arms to break down those words into syllables and then blend them back together. As we read, I'll show you how to do that. So let's start our book called Stella Luna. And who is Stella Luna again? Right, Kylie, it's the bat. Okay, here we go. In a warm and, here's a word we don't know. Let's clap it out. Sultry. 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 That's a word we want to remember since we don't know it. In a warm and sultry forest far, far away, there once lived a mother fruit bat and her new baby. Oh, how Mother Bat loved her soft, tiny baby. I'll name you Stella Luna. Here's another word. Let's sound it out together with our syllables. Crooned. 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 That's another tricky word. We'll highlight that and come back to it. I'll name you Stella Luna, she crooned. Each night, Mother Bat would carry Stella Luna clutched. That's another big word, but we're just going to look at that another time. Today, we're only going to focus on certain words. Clutched to her breast as she flew out to search for food. Time to turn the page. But look at Stella Luna on her mommy's stomach. What does anyone think is going to happen? Can anyone tell me what they think is going to happen on the next page before I turn it? No one knows? Okay. Let's turn the page and look at the picture before we read. What's happening, everyone? Look. Can everyone see it? What is that? Does anyone know? It's an owl. That's right, Charlie. And who's that? Right, Kaylee. That is Stella Luna. And there's her mom. I wonder what's happening. Let's read and find out. One night, as Mother Bat followed the heavy scent of ripe fruit, an owl spied her. So, Charlie, for saying it was an owl, you were right. On silent wings, the powerful bird swooped down upon the bats. Dodging and shrieking, Mother Bat tried to escape, but the owl struck again and again, knocking Stella Luna into the air. Her baby wings were as limp and useless as wet paper, which means Stella Luna couldn't fly. She's too small yet. Down, down she went, faster and faster into the forest below. Look, there's Stella Luna. Does she look scared? Yeah, I think she's scared. The dark leafy tangle of branches caught Stella Luna as she fell. One twig was small enough for Stella Luna's tiny little feet. Wrapping her wings about her, she clutched, oh, there's that word again, the thin branch, trembling, the cold and fear. Mother, Stella Luna squeaked, where are you? What does squeaked mean? We went over this the other day. Right, she made a funny sound in her voice and she's sad. Where are you? By daybreak, the baby bat could hold on no longer. Down, down again she dropped. What's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? You think she's going to fall on the ground? Oh no. You think she's going to land on another branch? Let's read and find out. Flump, which means that she hit something. Stella Luna landed head first into a soft, here's a big word, let's sound it out, downy, downy nest, startling the three birds who lived there. Stella Luna quickly, another big word, clambered, because the B would mix with the A and M to create amb. From the nest and hung out of sight below it, she listened to the babble, which means talking, of the three birds. What was that? Cried Flap. I don't know, but it's hanging by its feet, chirped Flitter. Shh! Here comes Mama, hissed Pip. So, we have Stella Luna who is here. But what are the three birds' names? We just read them. Can anyone rename them for me? Sophia? Right, one is Flap. Willow? Another is Flitter. And the last one, can anyone tell me what that one is? Dalton. Yes, it's Pip. Thank you. Many times that day, Mama Bird flew away, always returning with food for her babies. So Mama Bird flies away to get the food for the babies. Stella Luna was terribly hungry, but not for the crawly things Mama Bird brought. What is she bringing? Can anyone tell me what that is? It's a bug. That's right, Willow. Finally, though, the little bat could bear it no longer. She climbed into the nest, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. Plop! In dropped a big green grasshopper. Ew! Stella Luna learned to be like the birds. She stayed awake all day and slept at night. She ate bugs even though they tasted awful. Her bat ways were quickly disappearing, which means that certain ways that she's supposed to act as a bat aren't there anymore because she has to be a bird. Except for one thing, Stella Luna still liked to sleep hanging by her feet. Once, when Mama was away, the curious, which means they were interested in wondering what she was doing, baby birds decided to try it too. They decided to try and hang by their feet. That's what the picture is showing. When Mama Bird came home, she saw 8 tiny feet gripping the edge of the nest. Eek! She cried. Get back up here this instant. You're going to fall and break your necks. Oops. The birds, oh, there's that bird again. Let's sound it out. Clambered. Clambered. Clamored. Remember, the AM and the B combine together to create amb. But the B is a little bit silent, so it's a little hard to hear. The birds clambered back into the nest, but Mama Bird stopped Stella Luna. You are teaching my children to do bad things. I will not let you back into this nest unless you promise to obey all the rules of this house. So what does Stella Luna have to do to stay at the nest? Does anyone know? What did she get in trouble for? Right, Grace. She has to stay in the nest and not hang by her feet. Stellaluna promised. She ate bugs without making faces. She slept in the nest at night, and she didn't hang by her feet. Stellaluna behaved as a good bird should. So now Stellaluna does nothing like a bat. She is all like a bird. All the babies grew quickly. Soon the nest became crowded. Mama Bird told them it was time to learn to fly. One by one, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stellaluna jumped from the nest. Who are Pip, Flitter, and Flap again? Right, Mama Bird's 3 birds. Do you think Stellaluna's going to like flying? Because you remember what happened with the owl? She couldn't fly. Do you think she's going to be scared? Yeah, I think so too. Let's read and find out. Their wings worked. They work now because she's bigger. I'm just like them, thought Stellaluna. I can fly too. So she doesn't fall anymore. She can now fly. What do you think's going to happen? Does anyone have any guesses? You think she's just going to go back to the nest? You think she's going to fall again? Uh-oh. Well, we'll have to keep reading to find out. I don't want to ruin the ending. Pip, Flitter, and Flap landed, ooh, here's a big word, gracefully. Let's sound it out. Gracefully. 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 On a branch, Stellaluna tried to do the same. What's going to happen? If she's trying to do it, what do you think that means? Right, she can't do it. So let's see. Or she's struggling to do it, that's right. How embarrassing. Let's look at the pictures, everyone. Here, she can't get up. She has to use her feet, but they won't stay, so she's falling forward. What's she doing here? She's hanging by her hands, which isn't the right way to hang if you're a bird. Oh, what's she doing here? She's laying down. And here she's also laying down, but she's gripping to hold on. So she can't stand like the birds can on the branch. I will fly all day, Stellaluna told herself. Then no one will see how clumsy I am. Do you think she's clumsy? No, I don't think so either. She's not a bird, so it's hard for her to do certain things that birds do. The next day, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stellaluna went flying far from home. They flew for hours. Ooh, here's a big word. Exercising. Let's do it one more time. Exercising. Their new wings. The sun is setting, warned Flitter. We had better go home, or we will get lost in the dark, said Flap. But Stellaluna had flown far ahead and was nowhere to be seen. The 3 anxious birds went home without her. So see, Stellaluna is going. She's still flying at night, and the birds are ready to go home. So what's going to happen? You think she can't see at night, Charlie? I don't know. We'll have to see. All alone, Stellaluna flew and flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a tree. So she did fall, but only onto a tree, so she didn't fall down all the way. I promised not to hang by my feet, Stellaluna sighed. So she hung by her thumbs and soon fell asleep. So look, she's hanging by her arms again because she promised Mama Bird she wouldn't hang by her feet anymore. She was obeying the rules like a good bird. She didn't hear the soft sound of wings coming near. Listen, do you hear any soft sounds? No, we're not in this story. But can anyone guess what they are? An owl? Uh-oh. You think it's another owl coming after Stellaluna? I don't know. Oh, Sophia, you think it's bats? I don't know. We'll have to read and find out. So let's see. Sophia, it looks like you were right. It's another bat. Let's read to see what happens. Hey, a loud voice said. Why are you hanging upside down? Stellaluna's eyes opened wide. She saw a most, ooh, here's a big word. Peculiar. Peculiar. When I say it out loud, though, it's going to sound a little different. Peculiar. so like I don't get that I sound. We'll talk about that another day. Peculiar face. I'm not upside down. You are, because look, remember, Stella Luna was hanging by her thumbs. This one is not. Stella Luna said, Ah, but you are a bat. Bats hang by their feet. You are hanging by your thumbs. So that makes you upside down. The creature said, I'm a bat. I am hanging by my feet. That makes me right side up. Does that make sense? No? Okay. Let me try and explain. With bats, they hang by their feet at night. That's what they do. That's how bats sleep and they hang. So, if you're a bat and you're not hanging by your feet, then you are upside down. We would be upside down to bats because we stand on our feet. But if we were a bat, we would have our feet on a branch. We wouldn't stand. I'm sorry. So, does that make more sense to everyone? Okay, let's move on. Stella Luna was confused. Mama Bird told me I was upside down. She said I was wrong. Wrong for a bird, maybe, but not for a bat. So, it's wrong for birds to hang upside down, but bats are supposed to. More bats gathered around to see the strange young bat who behaved like a bird. Stella Luna told them her story. What's Stella Luna's story? What does she mean? Patrick? Right, she got attacked by an owl and lived with birds. You slept at night? Gasped another. You ate bugs? Stuttered one. Wait, let me look at this child. A bat pushed through the crowd. An owl attacked you? She asked. Wonder who this bat is. Does anyone know? You think it's Stella Luna's friend? You think it's Stella Luna's mom? I don't know, let's keep reading. She asked. Sniffing Stella Luna's fur, she whispered, You are Stella Luna. You are my baby. So it's her mom. Her mom found her. You escaped the owl, cried Stella Luna. I'm sorry, everyone. My book is not being nice. Let me try and fix it so everyone can see. There we go. Let's reread that page. You escaped the owl, cried Stella Luna. You survived, which means she lived. And she, got away. Yes, said Mother Bat, as she wrapped her wings around Stella Luna. Come with me, and I'll show you where to find the most delicious fruit. You'll never have to eat another bug as long as you live. But it's nighttime, Stella Luna squeaked. Do you guys want to go over that word with our syllables? Because it is a bigger word. Squeaked. Okay. Squa, e, k, d. Squa, e, k, d. Squeaked. We can't fly in the dark or we will crash into trees because remember, that's what the birds were worried about. We're bats, said Mother Bat. We can see in darkness. Come with us. Does anyone know why they would stay up at night then? Patrick? You think because stay away from the owls? I think you're right, because if they can see at night, they'll want to try and go at night to eat instead of in the day, and then they'll sleep in the day. Stella Luna was afraid, but she let go of the tree. Uh-oh, I can't read. What's going to happen? What do you think? You think she's going to fly? Are you looking at the picture? You are. I don't know. Let's read and find out. She let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky. Stella Luna could see. She felt as though rays of light shone from her eyes. She was able to see everything in her path. So look, see, these are the rays of light that she's imagining. Soon the bats found a mango tree, and Stella Luna ate as much of the fruit as she could hold. I'll never eat another bug as long as I live, cheered Stella Luna as she stuffed herself full. I must tell Pip, Flitter, and Flap. Look at her eat the mango. She looks really happy, right? The next day, Stella Luna went to visit the birds. Come with me and meet my bat family, said Stella Luna. Okay, let's go, agreed Pip. They hang by their feet, and they fly at night, and they eat the best food in the world, Stella Luna explained to the birds on the way. As the birds flew among the bats, Flap said, I feel upside down here. So the birds hung by their feet. Wait until dark, Stella Luna said excitedly, which means she was really, really happy. We will fly at night. What do you think's going to happen? Sophia, you don't think the birds are going to fly? I think Sophia might be right, everyone. When night came, Stella Luna flew away. Pip, Flitter, and Flap leapt from the tree to follow her. I can't see a thing, yelled Pip. Neither can I, howled Flitter. Ah! Shrieked Flap. They're going to crash, gasped Stella Luna. I must rescue them. What's she going to do? Right, she's going to pick them up with her feet. Stella Luna swooped about, grabbing her friends in the air. She lifted them to the tree, and the birds grasped a branch. Stella Luna hung from the limb above them. We're safe, said Stella Luna. Then she sighed. I wish you could see in the dark, too. We wish you could land on your feet, Flitter replied. Pip and Flap nodded. They perched in silence, which means they sat, or they stood on the branch. They perched in silence for a long time. How can we be so different and feel so much alike, mused Flitter. How do you guys think? Because they're friends. I think you're right, Willow. And how can we feel so different and be so much alike, wondered Flip. I think it's quite a mystery, Flap chirped. I agree, said Stella Luna, but we're friends, and that's a fact. The end. Now that we're done with our book, those were some big words that we decided to clap out in syllables. We're going to go back to our desks and work on these big words by ourselves. I'll hand out some bats, and on the bats, as an example, I'll show you with the name Stella Luna of our book. On the bat, one bat will say Stell, because that's the first syllable in Stella Luna when you clap. What do you say? Stell, all in one word. The next will be because it's separate. So we'll say and that will be on a bat. Then loon will be on another bat, and it'll say loon, because that's what you clap out, and the last bat will say So once again, that's what you clapped out, So there will be 4 bats sitting there saying Stell, loon, Then, after you figure out, you can clap, or since we're at our desks and everyone's trying to work and we're trying to be quiet, we can use our hands. Let's try using our hands to segment the word Stella Luna now. So we'd start at our shoulder and work to our hand. So it'd be st-l, loon, Let's do it one more time. Stell, loon, And then all together, we'd go Stella Luna. So, when we go back to our desks, let's do it that way. And this was just an example, but it will be one of our words because Stella Luna is our main character. And it is a big word for all of us to learn. So, I'm going to set the book down. If you need to refer to it, it'll be up front. And I will be walking around to help too. Please try to work on your own, but if you need a friend, you can talk to the people at your desk of 4, like your desks are in 4s. So you can talk to the people in your pod. If you have any questions, though, please let me know. All right, class, go ahead back to your desks.